it's Connie with the Artisan Company, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my goodness, let's look at what's on the desk today. Today, we're going to be working with some unbelievably beautiful turquoise. The turquoise we're using today comes from Mexico, and it is called Nacozari Turquoise. And I have used this in the past, and I've had this strand of turquoise for a while, just waiting to see what I wanted to do with it. And I found this unbelievably beautiful sterling silver cross that is also made in Mexico. And it has several stones in it here. It's got that's lapis, carnelian. This looks like, what's that green one with all the little malachite. I'll get it in a minute. Malachite. Both of these are onyx, and this one right here is turquoise. And I started looking at the color when I was trying to figure out what I was going to put with it, and I thought, oh wow, that looks like Nacozari turquoise. And so I started going through my strands of turquoise, and lo and behold, I had one. So I buy stones a lot of times when I see them, because they speak to me. And sometimes I hold something for quite a while before I see what it's supposed to be. But if it speaks to my spirit, then I go ahead and I purchase it. If I can afford it, I purchase it and I hold it. And these were some of the ones that I did that with. And I found this beautiful cross at Stones and Silver. Don't know if they have any more left or not. Things sell really, really fast there. But you can go and check to see if they do. Nacozari Turquoise is not cheap, like Sleeping Beauty's not cheap, Kingman's not cheap, Manassas not cheap. Number 8, any of the turquoise from the United States pretty much is not going to be cheap. Mexico is the same way, Campitos turquoise and all of that. Um, it's just gotten to be an expensive stone. Even the turquoises coming out of China, out of the Hubei mine and some of the other newer mines that they're finding now, um, they're not cheap either. So it is what it is. So, but anyway, okay. So now we know what we're going to be doing. Let's get our head around what we got to have. Alrighty. So if you can't afford real turquoise, you can always use reconstituted turquoise, which is also considered by the Gem and Mineral Society as real turquoise. And what reconstituted turquoise is, and you can always tell by the way it looks in the color, is they take the turquoise, crush it down to a powder, reform it into its shape, and reintroduce color to it and the matrix. So usually it's pretty. Oh, here's a piece right here. It's pretty blue in color like this. It's not going to be real shiny, which is okay too. But this piece doesn't have a real dark matrix in it. There's a little bit right there, but usually the matrix in reconstituted is really dark and almost overbearing, almost like somebody took an ink pen and painted it. That's kind of what it looks like. So you'll know that that is reconstituted turquoise. And like I said, the Gem and Mineral Society, unless they have changed something recently, still considers it as turquoise because it is made out of turquoise powder. So you can see the difference in the color. Let me put some Nacozari up here for you. You can see the difference in the reconstituted versus the real thing. I mean, the real stone out of the ground, basically. You can see the difference in how they look, a little bit different. So anyway, but the reconstituted is a way to use some turquoise without the expense. Also, they're dyeing magnesite stone now in such beautiful colors, and turquoise is one of those colors that they're putting the magnesite stone with, is the turquoise color, and it is absolutely beautiful. And also howlite, they use howlite to dye a turquoise color as well, and those are less expensive alternatives for you if you don't want to use the real thing or you can't afford the real thing. Either way around, uh, any of it will make a stunning piece as long as you put your head to it and make it yours. Okay. All right. So here we go. What I'm using in this uh, piece is I've got this beautiful sterling silver pendant, and you can use any pendant you want to. This is a 54 by 70 millimeter. It's fairly large. You can see how large it is on my hand. It's a pretty large pendant. So, but these are chunky stones too, so it'll work together. But you can use any pendant you want. That's up to you, but I'm doing this one particularly. I've got a beautiful sterling silver S-clasp here that I'm going to use. I have got some 6 millimeter gunmetal color bead caps here. And the reason why I'm using gunmetal instead of silver is because this stone is a kind of a matte color. It's not a vibrant stone right now. It's not all polished out and beautiful like they do a lot of the more high end Sleeping Beauty. It's more in its natural state, so I wanted it to have less of a shine to it. So I'm using the gunmetal color, which will also help the black pull out in this cross. I'm using a 6.0 old world, what I called old world color turquoise. These are made in India, and the reason why I'm telling you that is because you can see the irregular sizes. See this great old big one right here versus this itty bitty one right there. So the beads made in India will be like this irregular, but if you don't want to sift through this, get Czechoslovakian cut seed beads if you want consistent every time. What I did was I pulled this because I love the color. That's the reason why I bought these. It's kind of an old world turquoise versus a current turquoise, which would be, let me see if I can pull this out right here. I used this the other day on a project. This is more of a current turquoise color in beads, and then they have some that they're doing now that are current. What I mean by that is it's a more common color in turquoise beads now. I know they're beginning to do turquoise beads and seed beads that have a patina kind of to them that make them look older. And that's kind of what this one is. And I saw these when I was in Montana, so I picked them up because I thought they were beautiful. And I think this color versus this one is going to go better with this matte looking turquoise. You will need some medium AccuFlex or soft flex beading wire in medium, and obviously some crimps and crimp covers. And I have a couple of copper accent beads that are going to be flanked on my bail up here on my cross. And these are 6 millimeter, I believe, too. So, all right, that's what I got. You get your stuff together. These are chunky, chunky, chunky monkeys. So get some chunky beads and let's get going. All righty. The first thing I always do when I have a strand of beads like this, of any kind like this, where they're irregular or whatever, I lay them all out. I put them up against my ruler, just like I do my bone when I'm doing my chokers. And then I start matching pieces that are similar in size and similar in their look of weight and shape. And so all of these, you can see I've kind of paired off from large ones down to small ones. And so we're going to start with these right here to the center because they're the most uniform looking ones in the whole entire strand other than these, but they're bigger. So I'm going to use these to flank my cross with. But that's the first thing I do. All right. So I'm going to work one side of the turquoise first, and then I'll come back and put the cross on and work the other side. Now, also, when you have stones like this that have points and one end, like this little guy right here, looks a little more narrow on this side than this side, you want the more narrow part of the stone, like this one. This is the more narrow end. You want it pointing up towards the neck, not down towards the bottom of the necklace. You want it pointing up for the flow of weight. It makes the weight of the necklace flow better visually. So weight wise, physically, it's not going to matter because it's nothing changes, but visually the weight will change. So you want it pointing up. So let me find my little hole on the top here. All right. And I'm going to bead a little bit of this on this side so you can, for those of you who like to watch that process. And then I'm going to put a bead in the middle like so. Another bead cap for the next one. And remember, when you got parts, what do I always say? Check and check often. Because you want to make sure you don't have anything missing, or you've put something on backwards or whatever. Let me get my eyes down here so I can see just a hair bit better. All right. I'm going kind of slow here so I can remember where I'm at. And this is not a difficult necklace to do. It's not difficult. It's just you've got to take your time to look at visually what's happening here. You can string a string of stones on a necklace any way you want to do them, but if you take your time and really look at each stone individually and the beauty of each stone, the shape of each stone, and then strategically place those in your necklace, you're going to have a much more visually beautiful piece of work. And it's just a matter of taking your time and looking at it and not get in a hurry. Engage with your stones. That's the best way I can put it. Engage with the stones and just look at them. They're each have their own little specific uh, thing about them. And I'm mixing my colors of turquoise because this is such a varied color. I'm mixing my colors in the turquoise seed beads just to give it some interest. All right, and we'll put this last one on right here, and then we'll look to see where we are. All right. So you can get a visual of where we're going here. Okay, all right, look at this. Look how those gunmetal colored bead caps make this matte colored turquoise sing. And it doesn't make it so gaudy. If silver, it would be fine too if you have that, but it's this darker color that's bringing out the dark in the stone. It's going to bring out the dark that's in the cross. It's just like a win-win situation. I love it. Okay, so this is where we're going. Another alternative too you could do, instead of using a turquoise bead in there, you could use black if you were using stones that have black in them, or your pendant has black in it, which the cross does. It has some onyx in it. So I could have used black too, but I'm trying to get a little more concentration bang for my buck on the turquoise, so I chose a turquoise seed bead. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish beading this, and then we'll be back. Well, we're down here to the centerpiece, and you can see I've got this strand done, and I am just so excited about how this is looking. Oh my goodness, I'm just thrilled because I love Nacozari Turquoise, and I love this matte natural look. Oh my, it's just beautiful. My heart's singing. Okay, so we're down here to the part where we're going to put the cross on. And when I got down here and I looked at it, visually looked at it, I was like, oh snap, my copper accent bead was going to be too small. So what I did was is I went and I got a bigger one. I had a 6 millimeter, so I went and got an 8 millimeter because that's going to be a better fit for this. And so I made that adjustment. So obviously, when you're working and stuff like that, you go, oh man, I should have used a bigger one or a smaller one. Just go change it. You know, it's no big deal. All right. So we've got the bead cap on here on the end. And then I'm going to add another bead cap because I'm going to flank this piece of copper right here. I want it to have its cover as well. All right, so I'm at that juncture. Then I've got this bail here, and what I did was I went to my beads over here and I picked out two beads that if I put them side by side like that right there, that it would be about the width of my bail going across right here. And that's going to keep this fluid where it moves well, but not move up and down the necklace. Okay, so I'm going to put those two beads on. Then I'm going to string that through the bail on the cross. Push it down like that. And that's what it looks like right there. Okay, they're hidden. I mean, if you're looking at it really close, you're going to know there is something under there, but that's okay. It's turquoise and it matches everything else under here, so we're all good. You could also do black if you wanted to, or silver if you wanted to have other colors that blend as well, but I decided to stay with what I had. Okay, so next thing is we're going to put on the other piece of copper. I'm so excited about this. Y'all, this Nacozari, I totally forgot I had it. And something just said, look up. I have this group of turquoise that hangs on my wall up here. And then I have turquoise in boxes too that I've put groupings of things together. And I thought, oh my gosh, what color is that? And I pulled it off and it was this stone. And I was like, oh my, it is my day. Okay, so we have it flanked here. And you can see this is what it looks like. And the copper will pull in this carnelian that's way down here, give it a little bit of a pull in here, break the turquoise color, pull in, little copper, pull in all the way down here to this carnelian stone. The next thing we're going to do is bead this side just like we did this one, and then we'll be ready for the clasp. Well, guys, we are done with this project. I went ahead and put the clasp on just to expedite the video. It's a little long. So anyway, you can see what I did up here was I took two sterling silver, beautiful sterling silver beads, same size as the copper ones, the 8 millimeter. I flanked that with the black or gunmetal tone bead caps. And then obviously my crimp covers and crimps and this beautiful sterling silver S clasp. And oh my goodness, I'm done with this and I'm so freaking excited. Oh, I am just thrilled. This turned out absolutely stunning. And I'm just saying this is has more of an old world look to it than some of the other turquoises, and I absolutely love it. I just thought it was cool that I had the Nacozari, and it's from Mexico, and this cross was too. So it's just it was meant to be. Anyway, okay, we're finished with this project. I hope you got some inspiration today. If you did, please like and subscribe and comment, and I will make sure to write you back. You guys have sent some great encouraging comments to me, and I'm excited that a lot of you guys are going, oh my gosh, I've got an idea for these stones I've had forever. So I'm just thrilled with that. So thank you so much for letting me know what you're doing. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.